Welcome, Panther fans, to another edition of Panther Preview. Coach, Friday night we walked away with the win, but man, it was a long game.
Yeah, it was. It was a typical first game. You find a lot of things go on in those first games, Meow, that you really have to, sit back and evaluate. Number one, we were very fortunate. We had very few, hydration, cramping issues. That can lengthen a game if you have 10, 12, 15 players go down. Each one's out there 2-3 minutes. You average that out. That's a 45-minute addition to your game. And then, it's the first game for everybody involved, from your band, your cheerleaders, your football team, your coaching staff, your officials. Everyone has their first game, and you go out there and you try to find out after you watch film what you can correct, what you can't correct, things that you need to work on. And for us, it was very, very useful. I think we had 16 penalties. Out of those 16 penalties that were called on us, 4 of them occurred during play. The other 12 were either pre-snap or post-snap, and those are things that we can fix. Those are things that we can really fix, but I think the officials did a really good job out there of letting us know what was going on, and they called it. They called it like they would call it in week 4, which is good, because if you don't fix it early, it can come back and haunt you in the later on in the season. So I was really pleased with that. And but overall, getting out with a win was a good thing for us. And the 81st, 82nd Battle of the Cats, I'm not sure which one it is.
It was the 81st.
81st.
And before
Curtis said it was the 82nd.
Well, hey. Anyway, before we get away from, I know you're thinking, you said 16 penalties,
right?
There was 31 penalties in the game, so
that were accepted.
That were accepted.
Now that doesn't count the decline penalties. But
okay.
But again, that's the thing. You learn to grow from that and move.
I was laughing about it earlier. Joe Abston, late Joe Abston, was telling me one time. He said, Harold, every game, every play, an official can find something to throw a flag on. And I believe those officials Friday night, they were attempting to do that.
They did. I thought they did a good job. Now, I really.
You would say it.
That's because if it's not a Panther call, it's a wrong call.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're catching on.
Yeah. I thought it was good. But beyond that, from the play standpoint, I thought we came out on fire. We scored on the first drive of the game that we had. Defense flew to the football. Did some really good things. I think we were able to hold them to about 30 yards total offense, so that was a pretty good deal. We had a couple of interceptions, but we had a couple of good catches, a couple of good runs, and our best run actually came back from a holding call. Jaden Webb busted off about a 45-50 yard run, came back because of a holding call. But again, that's something that we can work on. And so we had a block punt by Chris Campbell, recovered in the end zone by Jeffrey Rush, who had a heck of a night. We had 3 sacks, 4 tackles for losses. He ended up with a block punt and he rushed for a touchdown. So he did a lot of good things for us. Jalen Parnell on the defensive side, had double-digit tackles and just flew all over the place. He played really well. Tank Bishop played well at linebacker. Josh Battles up front probably played the best game he's ever played in his high school career. Clogging up that middle, getting after the football, having some pass knockdowns on screen, so he did really well. Jaden Kennard played really well. Ferron Taylor played really well out there and just did really well up front. Nick Davis on one corner. Jalen Creer with his first career start at not at corner, but outside linebacker. Jalen Creer with his first start at outside linebacker.
If that was his first start, hey,
he did a great really job. Good. He came out there 34, really showed out. Tylen Wilson at safety, a freshman, had his first start, played really well, covered a lot of ground, did a lot of good things. Marcellus Parnell had a good night, ended up not being able to finish the game. But DJ North and Calvin Miller came in and played really well out there to help him out. And then Jason Payne, first career start at safety. He's in filling alleys, making tackles, doing a really good job. But we got after it. We played 4 quarters hard, which is what you want to do. Last year, our first game, we were delayed by COVID, so our first game of the year was the Gautier game. And we had about 12 people cramp up, 13 people cramp up. But one of the things that we made a commitment to from my quarterback club to my coaching staff was to make sure our kids had snacks, and make sure we have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, granola bars, apples, bananas. Whenever our kids are out raising money, those are the kind of things that we're buying for them, and that's so on Tuesdays and Thursdays we can get some food in them. So before we go out to practice, they get all fueled up. And then Thursday, give them a little bit more snack. We peel back practice a little bit, but then we go in. Hopefully they get something really good to eat on Thursday night. Takes us into Friday, and it's being back on a routine and in a normal routine is a great thing.
Well, I guess we're going to put Moss Point in our rearview mirror, and that brings up the Singing River Classic, Pascagoula Gautier. Coach, it's an intense rivalry. I mean, it's probably today one of our biggest rivalry, I think. Even sometimes I think it's even bigger than the Moss Point Pascagoula.
Old hats like me and you still think of Moss Point Pascagoula as the premier rivalry, but I think our new kids, our kids we have today, I do think there's a bigger emphasis on the Gautier game and the Ocean Springs game as well. So they really get locked in and get focused for this week. It's an intra-school district rival. It's somebody that I think it's the 20th anniversary of the first Singing River Classic this year. So
20th or 21st? I'll have to go back and check.
I think it's the 20th. And so anyway, so that's going to be a big deal. They've had the trophy the last 2 years, and and they've done a really good job. They probably got the best quarterback on the Gulf Coast, Caden Irving, no doubt about it. He can run the ball, he can throw the ball, he can throw from any arm slot.
Quick and release.
His receivers catch well, they run, they get open, and they just put you in a bind defensively, running their air raid offense. And their offensive line is they make you go around them. They really do. They do a good job of protecting him and keeping him upright. And their running backs always seem to be shifty. They're always able to go the distance. 21 is no different than any other one that they've had. He catches the ball out of the backfield. He makes you miss, and he can take it to the end zone at any time. So, they have a cupboard full of weapons, and Coach Hyde does a really good job of preparing them for every game. And so offensively, they're going to be hard to handle. They're going to be a sack full of rattlesnakes, if you know what I mean. If
you haven't seen the Gautier offense, I'm a Panther fan, and I'm in awe with it. It's like watching a Madden game, a video game. I mean, the routes are precise. It's like you said, an air raid offense, and it's exciting. So definitely come out Friday night. Put your butt in the seat and watch this. Pascagoula's we're gonna have our hands full.
Oh yeah, and they probably got one of their best defenses that they've had in the last couple of years. They play really hard. They're big, fast, and strong. They really do a good job of aligning and then pursuing the football. And so they're going to be tough. They're going to be a tough adversary. And for us, we just got to take care of what we can take care of, control what we can control, which is make sure we prepare to the best of our ability. We get our bodies top-notch physical position to play. Make sure we hydrate up and can play 4 full quarters.
Aaron or Ray? What do you think is their best receiver?
You're not going to get me to pick one. They're both daggone good.
Man,
they can play anywhere on the coast, and they are phenomenal receivers.
A lot of respect for them.
Absolutely, all 4 of those guys can play.
So Panther fans, you've heard it.
At Gautier this year.
Oh yeah,
at Gautier. Going to the swamp. You can get your tickets at the gate. $6 at the gate, $7 on GoFan. You can get those tickets. I think the student tickets will be sold in school, but you can go and buy those from Central Office, I believe, with Miss Weber over there at Central Office. But get there early. It's tough getting in the swamp. It's a bottleneck right there, so make sure you get there early. 7:30 kickoff, Harold.
Beautiful
7:30
stadium. I mean,
absolutely, right there in the middle of the swamp. You got beautiful sunsets there, and just a beautiful facility with that big pond sitting out in front of the school. But it's going to be a fun time, and they don't have a very big visitors section, so make sure you get there early so you can get your seats, and come on out and support the Panthers.
Absolutely. So hey, look, this is going to do it for the second edition of this Panther preview. Hope to see you Friday night.